Hi, sixth graders. Are you ready for some more key signature work? It's kind of fun. It's kind of hard, but it's something that's going to really help you while you're getting ready for secondary. And I sure miss you guys. Once again, I wish I could be here with you to help you with going over that transition bump into 7th grade. But if you're paying attention to all the stuff we're working on and you're seeing these videos every week, you are going to be well equipped. Okay, key signatures. Let's review the stuff we know, and you're going to want to also have a piece of paper and a pencil with you, so you can put me on pause if you need to go run and get that. You're going to want to add to whatever you have in your notes about key signatures today, because we're going to go a little bit further and we're going to learn some basic rules about key signatures besides the facts about key signatures. Okay, so where is a key signature located? It is located between the clef and the time signature. So I'm going to put my time signature here, and maybe I'm in 3/4 time here. So it's right in this area between the clef and the time signature. What does it show? It shows the flats or the sharps in a song. What do the flats or sharps represent? It represents a specific scale, or in other words, the key that we're in. All right, the key signature does not include what? Altered tones, accidentals, anything that is thrown in there temporarily, the key signature does not include. And then what order are the flats and the sharps in? Do you remember that 7-letter sequence? If you said B, E, A, D, and what else? G, C, F. Go call Fred. Something to help you remember. You are correct. Okay, the flat is on top of the B or the F? The B. So if you are drawing flats in your key signature, I didn't mean to color that in, then you always start with B and you proceed that direction. If you have sharps in your key signature, you start with F and you proceed from F in this direction. Okay, how many possible? Well, we just talked about that. We know it's 7 because there's 7 letters in the musical alphabet, and even though these are scrambled up, these are 7 right there. Okay, so we are going to practice writing the E-flat key signature and the A-flat key signature today. So E-flat signature has 3 flats in it, so we're going to try to figure out which 3 those are. And by the way, if a scale name has a flat or a sharp with it, like E-flat or A-flat, that's a dead giveaway that the key signature has only flats. Okay. That's a little fun fact to remember. If there's 3 flats in the E-flat key signature, we always start with B. That's right. And remember, there's a specific location. Let's see here. Did I put that up here? Not specifically that. Yeah. There's a specific location for each flat. So we know B is on the B line. And go ahead and put me on pause and draw your 5 lines and 4 spaces. And copy this out with me. Okay, next is E-flat, and hopefully you remember that the E, there's 2 different places E could be. It could be on the bottom line or it could be on the top space. Musicians want to keep everything nice and tidy and together, so we use the top space. That doesn't mean, again, that only the E on the top space is flat, and if I have another E in the song that's down here on the bottom line, it's not. It means all E's. Okay, and our next one is A-flat. So notice how I'm going slightly to the right as I go. So I'm not going to put my E-flat on top of the B-flat. So now my next one, A-flat, is going to go down on the 2nd space, F-A-C-E, so we know it's here. Okay, so now I've got B-flat closest to the clef, and then I go out E-flat, and then I keep going out A-flat. Now I would probably need to draw a little smaller or give myself a little bit more room if I had to draw more flats than that. Okay, let's go to A flat. The A flat scale has 4 flats in it, so very similar to the E flat scale, only add another one. So we're going to start again with B, and I'm going to draw a little tidier here because I don't have as much room. And then E again, and then we have our A. Notice how it goes down, up, down, up. It's going to go that direction. That might also help you remember where to put them. And then D. D is going to be on the 4th line. Every good boy does. All right, and there's the key of A flat. Okay, now we're going to go a little further today. I'm so excited. You might be wondering, well, if I see 4 flats or 3 flats in the key signature or sharps or whatever, how do I know what scale I'm going to play? I mean, you could say, well, if I'm in band or if I'm in piano, well, I just memorize it. I always know that 3 flats is the E flat scale. Well, I'm going to give you a little trick to remembering how to find it if you forget one day. This is called the flat rule. You're going to want to write this down. So go ahead and write down flat rule. And the flat rule says that the second to last flat on the key signature is the key you're in. Okay, let's write that down and then I'll show you what I mean. Second to last flat, to my symbol, is the key you're in. I'm going to write is your key because I'm running out of space. Second to last. Okay, so pretend that these flats are people and you have one person named Mr. B, Mrs. E, and Mr. A. And they're all standing in line at a counter or something. They're waiting in line at something. Here's my little counter. Here's my person. Hello, how can I help you? They're standing in line, and then B is first in line. Who's second in line? Mrs. E, and who's third in line? Mr. A. Okay, so I'm going to go to the person at the end of the line, which is Mr. A, and I'm going to go second to last person. So if Mr. A is the second to last person, or the last person, the second to last person has to be Mrs. E. So E flat is the second to last flat. Now, if you go back to the key signature here, you can see B was first, E was second, and A was third. So going second to last means I always go to the last one, bump it back one. And that's how I know the name of my key signature. Don't call your key signature E. You have to call it E flat because the flat symbol. If you call it E, you're actually calling out an entirely different key signature. The key of E has 4 sharps, so you don't want to do that. Make sure you call it by its flat name if it's identified that way. The way I know that the key of A flat is I go to the furthest flat, the one closest to the time signature. So we know that's D flat. So again, Mr. B, Mrs. E, Mr. A, and Mr. D are all in line. D is my last flat. Second to last flat is A. So go to the furthest flat here, D, go back one, and A flat is my key. Okay, that's called the flat rule. That's how you know what key you're in when you see flats in a key signature. Yay. All right, I'm going to teach you 2 more rules, but don't worry, these are really easy to remember. The key of C, you may already know, has no flats and no sharps. So whenever you see a key signature that looks empty, doesn't mean there's no key signature. It just means that the key of C is the key without any sharps or flats. Just white keys. Okay, and then finally, the next easy rule is the key of F. Now, you might be wondering, well, what if there's only 1 flat in my key signature? There's no second to last. That's the only one. It's B flat, right? No, the key of B flat is when you have 2 flats. B flat and E flat. You go to the end, you'd go back one, and that's B flat. So the key of F is the key signature where you only have one flat. And the easiest way to remember that is the flat starts with the letter F. At least that's the way I remember it. So the key of F has one flat. All right, there's only one more rule, and I'm going to talk to you about it next week. Let's review really quick. The flat rule is the second to last flat is the key you're in. You start at the clef, you go outward, and then you bump back one. That's your key. Make sure that you name your key by the flat name that it is. Same goes with sharps. The key of C has no flats or sharps, and the key of F is when you only see one flat. All right, I hope that's helpful to you, and go ahead and review this. See if you can be able to answer all of these and know all of these without looking at your notes, so you are ready for naming your own key signatures. I will see you next week. We're going to be talking about the sharp rule.